Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Continues to hold support level here. We still have the situation that off the 10th of March low, we rallied in possibly a 5-wave move in a diagonal. We came down in a wave 2 to our support area, rallied again in 5 waves, and we might be coming down now in 3 waves. I made an attempt to count this correction as a WXY pattern. In one of the last videos, we were waiting for another low. That low occurred here as a 5th wave of a C wave, off wave Y, off wave 2. But yeah, since then, nothing impulsive. Of course, this could now develop, but it would really need to rally now. If it makes one more low and then also breaks below 1990, I will change the count and we would just morph into the alternative wave 2. So I often say that, you know, when I have 2 support levels, one is shallow, one is deep, I would try to trade personally for the deep one, because if you trade for the shallow one and you get stopped out too early and it then comes down and just touches here the $19.08 level and starts to rally and you get chopped up, then you just, in the end the trade goes in your direction. But if you prepare for the lower support area, and you just risk that not all of your positions get filled, if that makes sense. So it's just an idea how I would tend to do it, because something you can purely not tell really for sure if that shallow correction is enough, because in a 1-2-1-2 setup we don't need to come down any lower. It's basically done what it needs to do, but only the market decides if that is enough. And if we do not rally above the descending price channel here, we probably have to focus on lower, especially if we don't really get an impulse. So a break out of that corrective price channel would be a really good signal that the wave 2 is over. But we need to be prepared that we could get the deeper correction in an alternative wave 2. Because it can very well be that this move up is just a leading diagonal in a wave 1. So we can count, for example, I just show that to you, this entire move here as a wave 1 of the leading diagonal. This would be the wave 2 of the leading diagonal. Then this is the wave 3, this is the wave 4 and the wave 5. And then we have just a large wave 1. And we would be coming down now in a wave 2. But this would have a little bit, it has a bit more space then. And again, there are different ways of counting this, but it would technically be likely to then still see a little bit of a lower low, for example, here in the $19.08 region. But even then, I mean, if I count it that way, that all of this is a wave 1, I might actually need to adjust the support area. Yeah, and I'll do that now. So see, that actually leaves a lot of strong support. Do you know what I mean? Because if I count it like that, without an overshooting B wave, I mean, this support assumes we have an overshooting B wave. But if I count it as a leading diagonal, it shifts a little bit. I mean, it's worth knowing that there's a lot of support at around $20, right? Because it's, first of all, of the first scenario, it's the $19.90 level, the 78.6 retrace. Of the large wave 1, it's the $20 level. So, and that's the 50% retracement. But maybe I'll leave it rather as it was, because, at least we give it a little bit more space. I'd rather give it a bit more space. Below 1732, however, we can then be quite certain that this setup is not going to work out anymore. So instead of lifting the support up too high and people getting stopped out early, I'd rather give it a bit more space. So, but that's just my view. But yeah, again, as long as 1732 is holding, we can focus on higher. In the very short term, we just need to see, does the $20 level hold? There's certainly going to be strong support. It certainly has a chance to find support here. And I think those markets, or crypto, just needs to get a breakout of the current range. As soon as Bitcoin makes a decision, we're going to see the effect in altcoins as well. And certainly it has still space, let's say, to drop another, from here, basically another 15 to 16%. There is quite a bit of a drop without invalidating a 1-2 setup. So focus remains on higher. Wouldn't be surprised to come back to roughly here this $17.30 level. But for now, we're holding here the micro support level. But so far, nothing impulsive on the upside yet. And we need that breakout above the descending price channel to confirm that this correction is over. Until then, probably doesn't harm to be focused on the downside a little bit for risk management purposes. because at the moment the market doesn't show any potential, or not, at least not the attempts to break out yet. But that can happen at an instant. So we are in support. Yeah, and you could even see this as a large support area for possibly scaling in, right? But eventually you have to do that or decide that for yourself. But yeah, not much change, unfortunately. It's a bit boring here for the last few days. It's not been moving at all. But it means the market is respecting our support areas, which is quite good. All right, that's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.